There's just something a little different in the air when homecoming rolls around, isn't there? For the 113th edition of the tradition Mizzou started, the Tigers returned to SEC action after the team's final non-conference tune-up of the season last week. 19th-ranked MU welcomed Auburn to Como today as head coach Eli Drinkwitz aimed to remain undefeated in homecoming games during his Tiger tenure. And of course, you have to remember the last time Mizzou played an SEC opponent, they got trounced by 31 points out in College Station. So today, there's a chance for some conference redemption. Homecoming is all about coming home, and some former Mizzou standouts sure did. Former fan favorite Sean Weatherspoon is back in Como, and legendary QB Chase Daniel caught up with current QB1 Brady Cook during pregame. And it's a sold-out crowd once again as Mizzou is home for the first time in nearly a month. But it was not a very happy welcome home to start, though, guys. Actually, a concerning moment here. First drive of the game, Cook gets tackled and goes down on his ankle all wrong. He comes up limping. Not a good sign. A few plays later, Cook tried to stay in the game, but as you can see here, he goes down before he can even get a throw off, and he's in way too much pain. Cook trots off to the locker room as the Tigers get a field goal on that drive. It's a 3-0 Mizzou lead. I have to tell you, though, guys, with Cook out of the game, the defense stepped up big in the first half. Zion Young storms in for the sack. The Tigers held Auburn to just 3 points in the opening half. MU went into the locker room, tied up at 3 with Auburn, but things did not get off to a good start in the second half. Peyton Thorne drops back. He has plenty of time, and he drops a dime to Bryce Kane for a touchdown. Other Tigers lead 10-7, and a little later in the third quarter, they get up by as many as 11 points. But wait a minute, Brady Cook is back on the sideline and ready to get back in this ball game. And boy, is he back. Near the end of the third quarter, Cook hits Mookie Cooper over the middle, and Mook is off to the races. He gets drugged down just short of the end zone, but the boys are back. Start of the fourth quarter on the goal line. Cook hands it off to Marcus Carroll, who runs it right up the gut for a touchdown. Mizzou clawing its way back into this ball game. Drinkwitz decides to go for 2 to make it a 3-point game, and Cook calls his own number this time, and you couldn't write it any better. Tigers down by just 3. It's 17-14. Let's skip to the end of the game. Less than 2 minutes left. Same score on 4th and 5. Cook is throwing for the ball game here. He hits Luther Burden on the outside. Massive first down. And with seconds left, Cook gets this thing to the goal line, handed off to Jamal Roberts, and the redshirt freshman scores his second career touchdown in one of the biggest moments of the game. Mizzou has a 21-17 lead. But Auburn is going to get the ball with less than a minute to play. But the Tiger defense would shut them down. Johnny Walker Jr. gets the defense's third and final sack of the day as Mizzou completes a storybook comeback courtesy of the return of Brady Cook. 21-17 is the final score from Faurot Field. Backup quarterback Drew Pine came in a tough situation for Brady Cook, but struggled to get the offense moving, completing just 47% of his passes. But the story today is all about Cook. ABC 17 sports director Natalie Jones covered today's game and has more from an emotional win.
Saying that Mizzou football fans went through an absolute roller coaster ride of emotions here today at Faurot Field would kind of be an understatement, guys. They went from happy, right? It's homecoming, the vibes are immaculate, the weather's great, to probably pretty concerned, a little bit sad, back to happy again as Mizzou did pull out the win against Auburn to improve to 6-1 on the season. Let's get to that concerning part. It actually happened very first drive of the game. Starting quarterback Brady Cook went down at about midfield, kind of went down awkward on his leg, right? He tried to stay in for a little bit, but just couldn't get it done. He came over here to the sideline, got evaluated in the medical tent. He needed more evaluation, though, so he made this long walk down the sideline here into the locker room, not knowing what his future is going to hold. Then he went across the street. We didn't know this during the game. Went to the hospital, got an MRI. He came back here to the facility, warmed up, got ready to go, and just casually led 2 touchdown drives, which ended up winning the football game.
I mean, for all the criticism that young man takes, 12 sure would die on that field for everybody. I mean, for him to be out there and put his body on the line for us is incredible, and it ought to be inspiring to everybody that watched it. And in the hospital, he realized I only got 2.5 games left at Faurot Field. There's no way I'm spending it here in this hospital. So,
man, it was a special finish. I'm I'm so glad we got that one. It's not how I saw today going, that's for sure. When I woke up this morning, sometimes that's college football.
The Tigers will look to take the energy and the momentum from this win against Auburn into an absolute doozy of a road trip next week. Mizzou will take on Alabama at Bryant-Denny Stadium on Saturday, October 26th. Until then, reporting at Faurot Field, Natalie Jones, ABC 17 Sports.
Thank you, Natalie. As she mentioned, a trip to Tuscaloosa is up next on the docket for 19th ranked Mizzou football. And within the last hour, we've learned the kickoff time for this contest will be at 2:30 p.m. right here on KMIZ.